Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, like always, then I am so happy to meet you. Now, today's video is a little bit of a story time, and if you've clicked on it, it's either you're pregnant, you want to get pregnant, you're just interested, to be honest, in childbirth, or listening to mine, you're probably going to have a little bit of a giggle. But I definitely think if I'd have known to have gone onto YouTube and watched other people's experiences, it would have prepared me a little bit better than what I was. I mean, you do your research, you know, you Google everything, you might ask friends or family, but at the end of the day, your experience is going to be nobody else's, not in the slightest. And I guess that's what makes everybody's experience special anyway, in their own. But I'm going to be very brutally honest. I'm a very open, non-filtered human being. So be prepared. I'm not going to hold back. But if it's something obviously you are interested in, then please keep watching. So yeah, let's get into the video. Right, so where to start? Let's go back to the beginning. Now, it was a week before my due date, and Theo, my son, he was due the end of July. Now, if anybody has had a child before and they're watching this, I'm sure you can sympathise with me if you had a summer baby. Sounds all great. You tell yourself, oh, that'd be nice for them, won't it, when it's their birthday? You, as a heavily pregnant woman, it's not fun in the slightest. I mean, you got extra weight, so you feel heavy. Your ankles are swollen. You get day sweats, night sweats, any time of day sweats. You're just forever sweating. I mean, in the summer, I was waking up in pools of sweat. It was disgusting. It was getting a bit too much for me. I mean, the year he was born as well, it was a pretty hot summer. And yeah, I just wanted him out. I was ready. I'd done my nesting. If any of you don't know what that is, nesting is obviously just what you do. Well, I did it a week or two before. It's kind of getting everything ready for the baby. It's normally when you've hit your maternity leave anyway. You know, get the car seat in the car, get the nursery completed, or if they're going to be in your room, just make sure, you know, the cot's up, or, you know, the little side sleep a bit, you know, all things like that. You just make sure you're completely ready. You've got all the clothes, the essentials, everything that you need, and that your hospital bag is sat there waiting for little one's arrival. It was about a week before, and I remember saying to one of my friends, I was like, I need him out. He's got to come out now. Obviously, I was so excited to meet him anyway, but my main reason was I can't feel like this for anything longer. It was really getting me down, actually. Really getting me down. I spent most of my pregnancy with a non-existent bump. Like, it was a cute little bump, but I remember being 5 months pregnant and somebody saying to me, where's your bump? You know? But near the end, oh yeah, there it was. And it just got a little bit too much. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go to Google. Google can sometimes be your friend. Not all the time. Normally when you Google stuff, it doesn't ever work out right. But I thought, what are all these myths? What do I need to eat? What do I need to do? You know? So I kind of did the long walks, went out a lot of walking. I danced, the baby mama dance or whatever it's called, came on. I got down to that on numerous occasions. Nothing more satisfying than being heavily pregnant and trying to dance quite sexy. Yeah. So, you know, I'd done that. Then the day before I went into labour, I had a curry. You know, they like eat hot, spicy food. Theo's dad, Andy, he went and got it with my friend's other half, and he was like, what's the hottest thing to get my girlfriend into labour? And he was like, this pickle. So, you know, is it like, I forget if it is the lime pickle or it's not. There's one you get like in the tray bit when you have your poppadoms. This isn't that one. If you've had it, it's the extra blow your head off spicy one. Oh, and I don't do spice. Like, no, it doesn't agree with me. And also it just burns the roof of my mouth off. It's so unsatisfying for me, but I was willing to do what it took. So I came back with it. I think I only had maybe a couple of spoonfuls. Wow. wow, I'm surprised I had another one. But yeah, so, you know, I did that. But you know what? I think more than anything, let go. Just let go. We spend so much time as pregnant women stressing, worrying, having anxiety attacks, just getting ourselves in a right awful state because we want everything to go smoothly. You know, I didn't have the perfect pregnancy, not in the slightest, you know. So the whole time, even though it's a blessing, you know, it really is a true blessing that, you know, I was able to create life inside of me. At the same time, you get to a point where you're just like, I can't do it anymore. You know, 9 months is a long, long time. And I remember reading something where it was just like, just relax, chill out, be positive, have fun. Like, once you've nested and everything's done, and that's how I felt the week before, I was like, I'm just going to relax now. If he comes early, he comes early, I'm ready for him. And that's how your mentality should be. And, well, blow me, the day I decided to be like that, and I did my walking and my dancing and my curry and being positive and everything else, the next day, my little boy came into the world. So I had friends over along with Andy, and we were having our curry and everything, and we finished that, and it was all giggles, all laughs and everything else. And her other half was like, you know what, should we tint my eyebrows? Now, I do beauty, so I was like, yeah. He's blonde, so blonde eyebrows. And I was like, don't worry, you can trust me, I won't leave the tint on for too long. Yeah, I left it on for too long. We all got nattering, we all got chatting. We were chatting for bloody ages, and I was like, oh my God, his tint. So as I took it off, these eyebrows going from, you know, just normal, very fair eyebrows, they were pretty damn dark, and we all just started laughing. Now, I laughed so hard that I felt like I had an ocean inside of me that just needed to be released. Lots and lots of water hit the floor. Now, I was wearing a dress because it was summertime. Obviously, I had my knickers on. It just came gushing out. Just came gushing out. Now, I was obviously, the amount of water that hit the floor, I remember looking at my friend and she was like, your waters have broken. And I was like, oh my God, they have. I was like, I can't believe it. I've done everything. I've relaxed. And now I'm going into labour. So I thought. So, you know, I've rang up triage. Obviously, we've mopped the floor, you know, sanitised, all of that. And I was like, yeah. So, you know, just having a bit of a giggle with my friends. The next minute, comes out with all this water. And she was like, you know, you're still leaking and all of that. And I was like, no, I'm not. And she was like, oh, okay. Now, at this point, I kind of thought, I've wet myself. I laughed that hard that I wet myself. And I was like, no, the amount was still insane. It was bad. So I was like, no, there's no way it's that. It's definitely got to be my waters. Now, obviously, when your waters break, it's all that fluid, isn't it, that was obviously keeping your baby safe. That's no longer there. So I was saying to her, you know, I don't want to risk it still. Can I come in? She goes, all I ask is that you put on like a maternity pad, sleep, and in the morning, you know, assess the situation, and then if you still want to come in, come in. I was like, okay, no, that's fine. I mean, if something's going to happen in the night, I'm going to wake up and know about it. So, yeah, woke up in the morning, checked my pad, nothing on it. And I was like, was really pointing more in the direction that my waters hadn't broke and that I had generally just wet myself. I still, me being me, because I'm an overthinker, I worry way too much at times. I was like, I need you to still see me. Okay, come down at 12 o'clock, we'll see you then. I did pack the car with a lot of my stuff that I would have there, but my friend was like, let's be honest, you're going to be back within the hour. So obviously when we went into the hospital, I didn't take all my bags and stuff because really I was thinking, oh, you know, I had probably just wet myself. So yeah, so we got there at 12, roughly, and I remember I wasn't seen until about 4 o'clock. There were so many emergencies on that ward. It was insane, and it was really upsetting, actually. Obviously, the lady kept coming in, apologising that she hadn't seen me yet. I was like, don't even worry about it. Me and my friend were happy. We were together. It did not matter. Those babies are way more important right now. And there's people giving birth, and that alarm goes off. You just... yeah, just such bad things go through your mind. So I was like, no, that's absolutely fine. When it got closer to about 4 o'clock, however, we were worried about the car, how much money we put in. So we were like, we'll just have a wander back, put more money in the car, and then obviously head back. Now, within that time, I was fine walking to the car, but then coming back, I started to get like quite a dull ache along my lower back. You know, didn't hurt. It was just a bit like, oh, you know, almost like I just wanted it to be massaged. Now, my friend probably thought I was just milking it. I was like, oh, my back, you couldn't just, you know, give it a little rub. But yeah, but it helped. She rubbed my back for me, and it really did help, and it eased off. But I remember we were in like a recovery room. Obviously, like when you have to have your C-section, you come out there. So there was like a chair in the corner of the room, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to sit down for a minute. Now, I don't know why. Now, I wasn't touching myself in public, I promise you. I kind of just put my hand on the top of my vagina. I felt like a lot of pressure. I was like, oh, so it was almost like I had to hold it there to sit myself down. It was the weirdest feeling ever. But as I did it, no word of a lie, it just went pop. I felt it, I heard it. I mean, my friend didn't, because I was like, oh my God, did you hear that? Well, actually, my words were, did you feel that? And she laughed at me, because it was like, how the hell would she feel that? It's my body. But yeah, no, nothing. And I was like, I'm just going to pop to the toilet a minute. I was like, because if my waters hadn't broken last night, they definitely have now. And I went to the toilet, sat there. Now I'm looking down, proper looking. I'm like, well, where is it? Do you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, maybe there's a delay. So I sat there for so long, and I thought, nothing. Got up, still felt a little bit heavy, a bit uncomfortable. But again, you're growing a baby. None of it's pretty. So yeah, got back to the room. Now at this time, one of the midwives was able to come in and see me. Now if you've had a smear, I forget what they're called, but that like, that thing, that clear object that, you know, they like to stretch you open with down there. She ever said to put that in. Now, it only happened to me. Yeah, I did really feel sorry for her, because as she went to do that, out they came. Still felt fine, no pain. I was like, oh, okay, well, it doesn't come on too strong then. You know, in my mind, I thought, waters break, on come the contractions. I don't know why, that's just what I thought. Well, like, I was fine. And she was like, right, now this is where I can't remember. She was like, between 3 or 4 centimetres dilated. But to a point that I was like, wow, I got that far and I haven't felt anything. My brain, okay, it's one of those things. It's like, I'm fine when I'm not aware, right? The moment I know, it's like it sends a signal down into my stomach where it was like, okay, game on. Let's give her the contractions. It was like within the moment she went, yep, you know, you're whatever centimetres dilated, boom. You're never prepared. I mean, nobody can prepare you. No research can prepare you for how painful a contraction is. You know, I did baby yoga, I did different things to get me prepared for it. You know, my mentality was like, it's okay, you have so much time of having a contraction, then you'll have moments to breathe. You know, mine wasn't like that. He wanted to come, and he wanted to come quick. So I'd have maybe a minute of screaming, oh yeah, oh yeah, okay, and then maybe 10 seconds to breathe. That didn't give me enough time to kind of get myself together and go again. I said to my friend, whatever happens, I don't want any like pain relief, I just want gas and air, if anything. But obviously I remember going, give me the drugs, I want the drugs, you know, because you tell yourself, you're like this, I thought the bottom half of myself was going to drop off at any moment. Okay, and the best way to describe it is that you're dying. Literally, I felt like this was it. This was how I was going to go out. Not how you're going to bring another person into the world. No, this was my time, right? It was agonising. I don't want to sit here and sugarcoat it. Some people's pain threshold, don't get me wrong, is better than others. And I think because it was happening so quickly for me, it just came on a lot stronger than maybe it would for other people. So like I say, this is my story. It doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. But yeah, and I remember just thinking, oh my God, Andy needs to get here. Obviously, he was with our other friends. So then my friend gave him a call. They got in the car, got there pretty damn quick, which was great as well, because I did not think our son was waiting. Not in the slightest. And I remember him saying that when he turned up on the ward, I mean, I was at the right other end, and he was like, I could hear you. And I was making like mooing sounds. I remember it so clearly. I thought I'd be very composed in a voice. You know, one born every minute, that's going to be me. Well, let me tell you, okay, that programme is utter lies. Unless you've got a really good pain threshold or you just don't feel any pain whatsoever, sitting there in the bed going, oh yeah, that one hurt. What? I was watching that thinking, oh, that's what labour's all about. No. That was not me. I was just mooing every time it hit me. And it hit me a lot and it hit me quick. So obviously I'm about 4 centimetres dilated. I had asked for a water birth and I was so chuffed I got what I asked for, which can be really rare. It depends on the size of the hospital, as to how many water pools they have. And also it's luck of the draw. They don't know, they can't work out, yeah, I'm going to probably have 10 people that are going to deliver at the same time. Not at all. I wasn't planning on being there. My due date was in a week's time. So they weren't thinking I was coming in. But I was so lucky. I was like, great. So I was like, well, what can you give me to help with the pain? They were like, well, if you have a water birth, we can't offer you anything. I can't remember correctly, it was either paracetamol or Coldamol. I laughed. That doesn't always even hit a headache. Let alone contractions. So I was like, right, this is great. Because I was in a recovery suite, they didn't have any gas and air hooked up or anything. It wasn't like I was in, you know, my little suite already. No. So I had nothing, okay? So actually I should give myself a little bit of a pat on the back, the fact that I did do it the way I did, but it was agonising at the same time. Anyway, then they were like, we have to set the pool up. That can take half an hour. Half an hour? When you're in labour, half an hour feels like a century. I swear to God, you're like, what? I have to wait? And then the next best bit was when it was ready, they were like, right, Miss Garrett, if you could just stand up and walk to the room. I was like, you got a wheelchair? Are you going to carry me there? I said, because I physically felt like I couldn't. I was on all fours on the bed, I remember, kind of like leaning back and forth, doing my mooing sounds, concentrating on the pain. And she wanted me to get up and walk somewhere. I thought I would collapse to the floor. I did, however, do it. I mean, I ran. Awkwardly, weirdly ran. It didn't look pleasant, but I dashed to that room, got on the bed, you know, kind of was on my back, like my knees up. I don't know how anybody gives birth that way. To me, gravity, it doesn't make any sense. I remember lying on my back, and I said to my midwife, I was like, I've got to push. I'm ready to push. Now, bearing in mind, from hitting about 4 centimetres, it's only been about an hour, and I was like, yep, I want to push. Now, as a lot of you may know, sometimes when you feel like you want to push, it kind of just means you want to go to the toilet. Like, you know, a number 2. Yeah, you know, keep this quite clean, this video. But yeah, a massive number 2. That's how it feels. But that's what obviously people tell you. I know that end to my other end, right? I knew what was coming where, put it that way, okay? If that makes any sense at all. And I was like, no, I want to push. She went, no, honestly. I was like, stick your fingers at me. Sorry, guys. And have a feel. She was like laughing. Like, we were all having a joke in some respect. I mean, not so much me. I wanted to kill her in that moment. She was absolutely lovely though. So lovely. But when you're in that much pain, I was like, just do what I've asked. And it was the face on her. So she's checking out and she kind of looked at me, pulled her hand out and was like, yeah, we're going to need to get you in the pool. I was like, well, apparently I don't know my own body. Girls, you do. Okay, maybe some people do get a little bit confused, but I 100% knew it was my baby and not that I needed the toilet. So by this point anyway, luckily, the pool was ready. Now, I didn't even have my bags with me. The bags were still in the car. You know, other than really when your baby's there, you need obviously clothing for him or for her. I took everything I'd researched about, everything people told me about that I'd need for myself. I stripped off naked. Okay, utterly naked, and I got straight in that pool. I didn't care about modesty. I didn't care who was looking at me. It was hot. I was flustered. I just wanted to get into that pool and give birth to my son. Once I got into the pool, I was able to have gas and air. You know, that I could have. I mean, you would have thought by that point, girl, you got that far, keep going. But it just got worse. So I was like, no, I need to have something. And I remember Andy turning around to me and being like, your lips went blue, your eyes were rolling into the back of your head. Me and the gas were not to be separated. I could hear the midwife going, Andy, if you could take it away from her. I was fighting him. Like, get off, I need it. Like, I remember just going killer mode, you know what I mean? Problem then is she got me to stand up at one point because she was like, I need to hear his heartbeat. She could tell I was getting quite lazy. It's tiring. Pushing is tiring. I think it took about 45 minutes for me to push him out, which sounds like a long time, but it's not, obviously, when you're in, you know, within it. And yeah, I remember her saying she's getting quite lazy, we needed a push. Now I was pushing when she said and everything else, but I don't think I was giving it my full go. So she was like, stand up, I need to hear his heartbeat. And I'm standing there still pumping on, you know, breathing in on the gas and air. And, you know, and I was like, everything okay? And she's like, I can't get a heartbeat. She was like, let's not panic, but he needs to come out like now. At that moment in time, you're telling me you can't hear my baby's heartbeat? Watch me go beast mode. I got back in the water, hands and knees, were like, yeah, on my knees, sort of leaning over the side, and I gave it everything I had. I don't care how painful it was. At that point, I didn't care if I was going to tear. My son may not be breathing because I've gotten lazy. No, it didn't sit well with me. Here he comes. I mean, they also say as well, it stings. Just prepare for just a little sting. A little sting? You're pushing a baby out. The head is the hardest part, right? A little sting, don't be fooled. It's a very, very, very painful sting. But you get over it. Again, I had to do it, and I'd given birth. I was so not with it that I wasn't even paying attention to if he cried, if he didn't cry. Now, he didn't. From what Andy was saying to me, because obviously he could see him where I was facing away, he said he came up very limp, very blue in colour. And I can't remember actually if they pressed the button for emergency or if they were about to, but I remember turning myself around. I wasn't even aware of this going on, and I was just like, give me my baby. And I held him, and he gave out the biggest cry. Now, it's the only time as parents we enjoy the crying. Anything after that point. But in that moment, it was like all he needed was me, and all I actually needed was him as well. And obviously, by the time I'd seen him, he looked fine in colour. Obviously, I think they look a little bit alien, like, yeah, I mean, he looked like an old man. I used to joke with my dad and say he looked like him. Wrinkles in all the right places he had in between his eyebrows. The biggest crease, like roll of fat. It was the cutest thing. And I'm definitely glad I got loads of photos of that because I missed that bit so much. But yeah, that pain, gone. Absolutely. Like, then they do tell you that, and that's one thing that is true. The moment you've given birth, you don't feel anything anymore. I mean, literally, like, down there is as numb as can be. You've completely butchered yourself. But this little human being needs you, and it doesn't matter anymore. Now, people obviously can have different experiences when they hold their children. Some just don't love them, do they? And I'm so glad I wasn't like that. I got this overwhelming, it was a bit too much actually. It was like, whoa, I just felt all this love coming from somewhere, and I never experienced that amount before. It was amazing. You know, I then had to get out of the pool. I mean, it did look like a shark attack. I remember Andy saying to me, he was like, I thought like you were dying. He was like, 1 minute, you know, the pool's just a bit of a murky colour because obviously, you know, everything else. He was like, and then obviously once you come out, it's like it just went to blood. You know, it was just red. Now, what had happened is my placenta had ruptured. So it was nothing to worry about. All they do is inject you in the leg, and then it just like releases or detaches. I don't really understand it all, but it comes out basically. You do get the option that you can keep it attached, but no. And yeah, so got me back onto the bed. Now, what I was mainly worried about was tearing. And unfortunately I did, but it was only what they call a 2nd degree tear. It was nothing major. You can have gas in there while they stitch you up, but I'm not being funny. You're holding your newborn baby. You're not concentrating on anything else. The gas in there definitely helps, but you just feel tugging more than anything. I think you're so, like I said before, numb down there. You just can't tell really what's going on. And then, fun fact, I had a depository, is that how you say it? Popped up, you know, the other hole, which helped basically to keep it numb for several hours. It might have been up to 24, but that was great because I can imagine it would have been a massive shock to your body, you know, feeling numb for a little while and then be like, oh my God, what the hell? I've just been ripped apart and stitched back up and everything else. Yeah, so you don't feel anything. So by the time that wears off, I actually weirdly felt okay. You know, got the whole peeing situation and people are like, oh, it stings. One bit of advice I can give you, stretch those legs open. Even if you've got to lean, like, can't lean away from the toilet as long as you're aiming right, obviously. Yeah, if it doesn't hit where you've torn, you're fine. And yeah, I wasn't too bad actually. It's all worth it. You have your little baby in your arms. It's so worth it. But yeah, so that was kind of my experience. Oh, I had him, so like I said, I got about 4, had him at 7:15. So I had him, what I think for a first birth, super quick. And I was able to be discharged by about 11 o'clock. It was weird, you know, you get people that stay in for hours and stuff. I mean, I could have, but I was like, I just want my own bed. And I wanted my mum. I think most females want their mothers. So yeah, my friend dropped me home, or us home, and my life has been different ever since. But an amazing sort of different. Nothing beats being a parent. But yeah, so that's my story, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I've not grossed you out or like put you off too much. But there isn't anything overly flattering about labour and giving birth. But it's a magical, magical moment that, you know, men can't do it. So yeah. Next upload day is on Sunday at 5 PM. But enjoy the rest of your week and I will see you soon.